What's up, guys? It's Geordie here. I'll get to that in a little bit. Um, but this is my 1 month update. So the reason why I've just introduced myself as Geordie is because for the last, I'm gonna say, 2 or 3 weeks, I've really been struggling with the whole sorting out a name change and trying to pick myself a name and adjusting to that name and then using the name with my friends and with people I work with and whatever else. And to be honest, every name of the odd 30 names that I've gone through, not one of those names has felt like it's stuck to me. So currently, because my name is a unisex name, I'm going to stick with my name of Geordie, my birth name, and I'm not going to change it for now. If something happens in the future and I find a name that I really like and I really feel that could be me, then I might consider changing it then. But for the current moment, it's going to be Geordie. So everything from here on out will be changed back to Geordie, and I'll be going off that name. So just clearing that up now from the beginning. I'm Geordie, and this is my 1 month video update of my transition. So basically, for the last 3 or 4 days, I've had really intense jaw pain, and it's like to the point where you can't bite down on my teeth, and or I can't really chew solid foods. So I've been kind of running off a liquid or mushy diet, so to speak. But the pain has kind of gone away now, and one of my mates came to me with two different pictures of pre-T and now, and it's a massive difference in my jaw change. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, my hips have dramatically dropped. I no longer, well, I do have a little bit of a curve, but it's not as obvious of what it was before. I feel like going to the gym and doing my exercises at the gym and stuff is really helping with that. So I'm really excited about that too. Um, from when I first started my injections, I've had 3 injections for between this 1 month. I've had 3 injections, and my acne that's on my face along here and down my neck, and there's a little bit on that side too, that has basically started since the first week. It hasn't really subsided. All I've really done is wash my face regularly on a regular basis with men's face wash because I now have oily skin. So I've washed my face with men's face wash, and it really helps with keeping the acne to a minimum. I've been pretty lucky in that sense that when I was younger, as a female, I did have some bad acne and stuff, so it hasn't flared up as much as I thought it would. So I'm pretty happy with that. So it's pretty much manageable. Obviously, I have a voice change, which I'm super excited about. If you listen to my first video, that is my pre-T video, obviously, and apparently my voice sounds pretty deep in that one, but I've only noticed the changes just recently of my voice, and it just keeps dropping and dropping every day. So you can hear that I'm currently clearing my throat on a constant, regular basis because it feels like I have a lot of like phlegm in the back of my throat. But every time I clear my throat, it kind of drops just that little bit more, which is good, but it's also weird at the same time. So I've also started to experience a little bit of facial hair on my top lip. It's not there currently because I shaved the other day, but I do have a bit of black hair coming through on my top lip. It's not currently coming through anywhere else as of yet, but it's slowly getting there. My happy trail or snail trails, whatever you want to call it, is starting to come through below my belly button, which is also really good. It's not as dark as my top lip hairs, but it's getting there slowly. Um, yeah. So with the emotional side of testosterone injections, It hasn't been that up and down. I've had a couple lows where I just sat back and certain things were happening that day, or certain people were talking to me about certain things, and you kind of just you sit there and it just hits you, and you're just thinking. I was just thinking about my whole transition and all of the people in my life, and I started to think about like how me changing affects other people, and how it affects my family, and and everything else. And it started to get me really down because I didn't actually know, like, my family are fully supportive of all of it, of my whole transition, and they'll do anything to see me happy, and me transitioning is making me extremely happy. So I just sat down with my family and a lot of more so my friends, and sat down a lot with my friends, and I just had discussions with them and asked their views and how they're feeling through my transition and whatnot. And what they said to me is they, more than anything, just want to see me happy and be the person who I am inside and who I was meant to be, but I wasn't born how I'm feeling I was meant to be. So talking to them and discussing with them about that really helped me a lot. And I don't actually have that many lows now because of it, because I understand their feelings towards it, and everything on that sense. The whole pronoun thing. Some people do slip up now and again, and they make a big deal out of it, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. You need to just like slap me across the face or hit me across the back of the head whenever I do that." And like, I think most people need to understand that people are going to slip up. Like, most people that I've spoken to are transitioning between the ages of 17 and 25. That's a long time for someone to know you as her, or she, or whatever. So just, I'm not going to say cut them slack, because obviously you want your male pronouns to be on point and whatever else. Like, there's heaps of people at work now that call me him, and like my voice obviously reflects it. I was actually at the shop before, buying some smokes, and the lady asked me for ID, and I gave her my ID, and she looked at it, and she's looked down and looked back up, and she's like, "Really?" I just like, "Yeah." And she was more shocked to the fact that my ID actually still says female instead of male, which is in the process of being changed, thankfully, so that my voice and my body image can now start to reflect on paper that I'm actually supposed to be a male, which is good for me. I'm really excited for that to happen. I'm also excited for my when my next injection happens, which should be either tomorrow or the next day. Excuse me. I'm really excited to see what changes come from that. I personally, I shaved my legs and my underarms before my first injection because I wanted to know what the growth was like. I'm now, I think, 5 weeks on T, and my leg hairs are blonde as hell and have barely grown at all. It's about from underneath my calf to my ankle that's dark, and that's it. My underarm hairs, they're really dark, but they're not in a, like, they're still, they don't, this is going to be weird to say, but they're not as female as I thought they would be. So they're a lot softer, and yeah, I had a really big issue when I was growing my under and hair out with it started to create a rash on my arm and underneath my armpit, and it was really irritating, and I considered shaving it again, but I stuck it out. And now I couldn't picture having no underarm hair at all. It's a weird feeling. So but yeah, that's really it for my update video. I'll do another one in about 3 weeks' time for my 2 months on T. I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes, but we'll see what happens. Like I said originally, if you guys have any questions or anything, just feel free to hit me up, put comments down, or if you can find me on Facebook or whatever, just add me on Facebook or send me a message privately on Facebook if you have any questions about anything. I'm more than happy to answer any questions from my personal experiences on tea. I'm not trying to make out that I know everything, because I don't. I'm still learning every day from other trans guys who are a lot further along the process than me. But this is all my experiences, and I am on Premotest 250 milligrams or 250 mils of Premotest and testosterone injections on a fortnightly basis, and everybody takes them different. So, and everybody's body reacts different to the injection. So this is just my personal experiences, and I just want everybody to know that my changes may be happening a lot quicker or a lot slower than other people's, but like I said, this is my experience, my life, and my injections, my updates. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video, and I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.